All right. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. We will get started here in about 1 minute as I get everything set up and ready to go. And I know most people will be watching the replay, so thank you. Okay. All right, let's get this show started. So this is Coach Scotty.D.Russell, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you why you should be more selfish with your time, your energy, and your commitments, along with finding the fuel to stay hungry to show up while patiently playing the long game. Okay, so it's all about being selfish, being hungry, being patient. In doing so, focusing on all three of these within your creative pursuits and just life in general, it's going to help you do a couple things. So one, it's going to help you gain more traction at a rapid pace so you can be more selfless. It's going to help you position yourself as a creative professional who's making power moves in this world. And it's also going to help you create more structure and clarity around your daily routine. And the goal of being selfish and staying hungry and being patient, the entire goal of this and what I'm talking about today is to show you how prioritizing what matters most in your life is going to reveal where your focus should flow as you continue to show up each day. So before I dive in, and you're watching the replay, if you found this video helpful, please consider one, just liking this video so more people can see it, and two, subscribing to the channel, as I'll be dropping a new live session like this every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Time to provide you extra fuel for your mind and grind. Next week is going to be a little bit different since I'll be traveling next Wednesday, so it's going to be Tuesday, 1 p.m. Central Time, because I got a crazy schedule. My grandma, as I recorded this morning, my grandma passed away today. So this whole morning has been flying around, setting plans. So next Tuesday during normal time will be her funeral. So I'm just going to bump it back an extra hour, but it will be on Tuesday. And I'll come home after I get done with that and jump right into a live session with you. Okay, so let's jump right in. Also, hold your questions to the end. And if you have questions afterwards, drop them in the comments and I will get back to them. But first off, let's talk about being selfish. Then we'll talk about being hungry, and then we'll talk about being patient there. So those are the three things in case you're taking notes, whatever it is. But being selfish. I love this quote from Picasso. The meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away. Love that. And that one's hit me pretty hard recently in a lot of my work. And I think about how I'll talk about this today. I'll structure it and relate it to like my current life and the current season that I'm in. But when I talk about being selfish, first, I mean making yourself and your creative dreams a non-negotiable. So I am here to compel you to be audacious enough to be selfish with finding your gift so you can selflessly share it and give it away. But you also can't pour from an empty cup. So I have family members who are just so selfish or selfless all the time. They never do anything for themselves and they're always stuck in the same spot, wondering like, why am I always the scapegoat? Why am I always the one people come to the most? Why am I always the one that people put the hand out to? I never have any time for myself. I'm never get to do the things that I want to do in life. I never got to accomplish the things I've always set out to do. It's because they were too selfless. They put everybody else's needs first. They became everything to everyone and they didn't become someone special to themselves. So to me, being selfish means making your creative dream a non-negotiable, a top priority. But let me put a note here. To me, when I say this, first off, my main top priorities, to me, my creative dream is a top priority outside of my main foundational priorities. And those main foundational priorities are family, fitness, and finances. And with family, I would consider family like obviously my family members and my core inner circle of like select few friends. I would drop what I'm doing in a heartbeat to go do or be available to them wherever they are. Like this morning, my entire schedule got dropped so I could be with my family over at my grandma's house as we said our goodbyes before hospice took her body to do their thing with it. So like I dropped my whole schedule this morning. My main dream as a priority A creative dream took the back seat today for family. I dropped what I was doing last night because we had a quick family get together with so much family in town, with my grandma on her deathbed, basically. And she passed this morning, but I dropped what I was doing to go see family yesterday before my Tuesday coaching call. So for me, family, fitness, wellness, and finances, I just like those 3F. Those are my core foundation. Those are my top priorities in life. Once those 3 bases are covered, now my dream is the non-negotiable. My dream for me, my selflessness. I don't make time for everyone all the time right now. I got my core select handful of people, and people, beyond that, maybe the outer circle. But from there, I'm not going to just make myself available for everyone anymore. I have to be selfish. Hopefully that makes sense. So I don't want to say like, hey, make your creative dream a non-negotiable and nothing in life matters. So I feel like that's an important note for me to say, just so you can see, like, I put my own preachings to practice as well. Like, family's everything to me. But next, under the lens of being selfish, you got to respect yourself. You got to be so selfish enough to respect yourself and take yourself seriously. If you want to be respected and taken seriously by the world, your peers, by the creative community, whatever you're trying to like be viewed as a professional is, you first have to respect yourself. You first have to take yourself seriously, like I talked about recently a couple episodes back. And this is the difference. Here is a lack of self-respect checklist versus having lots of respect for yourself checklist. So to me, someone who has a lack of respect for themselves, they are ones who always have an excuse why they can't seem to follow through on their commitments. They say they're going to do something, but they never do. And they play the victim and they blame others for why they're not succeeding or why they couldn't show up and follow through on a commitment. They like playing that victim card and they like passing off the blame. They take zero responsibility and zero accountability. And finally, that lack of respect checklist. To me, someone who lacks respect for themselves is someone who only shows up when it's convenient. They don't have enough respect for themselves to show up on a hard day. I made time for my family. This morning has been an emotional roller coaster, but I also still showing up and getting shit done. Now, if there was family events planned for the rest of the day, I would have rescheduled everything, but there's not in the meantime. Maybe tonight we'll link up. So I'm not saying like, hey, I'm putting my family on hold. But if you're sick, you're going through a depressed rut, whatever it is, I'm not saying to show up during those times. Self-care, again, self-care is top importance. I'm not saying to lose sleep. I'm not saying to do any of that. But maybe, today is just hard to write that podcast outline. I'm just not really feeling like in a writing mood. That's where I would call you operating from the lens of a hobbyist. That's where I would say, like, man, you're lacking respect for yourself. You say this is important. You say this is what you want to accomplish. You say you desire these end results, but you don't want to show up and write today because you want to play Xbox all day. To me, that shows a sign of lack of self-respect. So where respect for yourself comes in, this is the respect for yourself checklist. This is, to me, people who are operating as a professional, the students I work with. To me, you have self-respect when you follow through on your commitments and your deadlines. You say you're going to get something done. You don't have a good reason, like a family excuse or a health excuse to do something, like you still follow through and meet your deadlines. I've had sick kiddos. I've had funeral and stuff that I'm dealing with right now, but in between all of it, I'm still showing up because my business relies on it. I can't just take days. I don't get paid days off. I show up when it's hard, because I have respect for myself and I follow through on commitments. I tell my mom I'm going to be someplace relating to my grandma's funeral or visitation or a get together. I show up and I follow through and I'm there when I tell her I'll be. I'm punctual. I have respect for her and I have respect for myself. I respect those. You clearly have respect for yourself when you show up when it's hard and inconvenient. To me, you have respect for yourself. You wake up, you're behind on a deadline, but you still get it done. You have respect for yourself. You may not be feeling like, oh, I know I have some deadlines, dude, that I got to get to my podcast team to get some edits out, but man, I'm just not feeling it today. I just want to lay on the couch all day and do this. But it's like, you got to do the hard shit that may not be the most fun stuff to do in order to get to the things you want to do or to take that break. So, but again, self-care over everything. If you need that break, I feel like you have respect for yourself if you put self-care first. So I never want to say, hey, it's the hustle culture. To me, it's the art of healthy hustling. That's what I'm about. And then to me, you have respect for yourself when you take full responsibility for everything that happens. A project fails, you miss the deliverables, something falls through, your plans, whatever it is, take full accountability for everything. Stop, don't put the blame on other people. Take the blame and life will get so much easier. Focus on what's in your sphere of control. So focus on what's in your control, let go of everything that's not. Okay. Also through the lens of being selfish. This is another art form I'm learning right now, is like disappointing the right people. Master the art of disappointing the right people. Sometimes the right people may be family if they're bringing you down. It may be close loved ones. It may be friends. It may be someone out there that they may not have your best interest, or they're trying to influence you based on their expectations, beliefs, or how they were raised, that may be holding you down from taking the risk and the scary leap to get to where you want to be selfish with your dream. And maybe they weren't selfish with their dream, so they're trying to make you not selfish with yours. It didn't work out for them, so maybe they don't want to see it work out for you. I have people like that in my life, and they're the ones I'm okay with disappointing. But you can't be everything to everyone. You cannot. And sometimes I realize this and I still try, and I make myself available always to people, even though my bandwidth is so limited. My bandwidth is so limited, yet I still bend over backwards for people when I probably shouldn't be. And that's just the people pleasing side of me. That's like my mom in me. My mom is so selfless. She's the most selfless person in this world. She lives for her kids and lives for everyone else, but she never takes time for herself. Neither does my dad. And so to me, I've really learned through them is that you can't be everything to everyone. You got to be selfish with your dream. And when you are selfish and you put yourself and your dream first outside of your core priorities, for me, family, fitness, finances, those are the things that keep my life going and my family thriving and position me and my kiddos for a future that my parents weren't able to provide, So that's my focus. The dream then comes next. But whenever you go all in and you have your priorities dialed in, what's most important to you in your life and in your business, someone's going to get offended. We live in a world full of snowflakes, and I'm not going to get political, but somebody out there is going to get offended when you do what's best for you. Because some people just feel the solar system, they're the sun, and everything should gravitate around them. It's very ego driven and narcissistic in a sense. I have people like that too. Or like when I'm in a season of no freelance and I get all these freelance requests and I just tell people, no, sorry, I can't do this. Here's my focus this season. The right people understand, and they're okay with being disappointed. They understand. They support me. They respect it because I respect myself. And then the wrong people, they might ghost me. They don't like being told no. That's fine. Most people don't like being told no. And I'm okay with that. I'm figuring out that I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of what's best for myself, my family, my dream. And I'm going to offend some people, and I'm about offending the right people right now. So I'm challenging you to figure out who are the right people you need to be disappointing. Because in order to take care of yourself and self-care, we cannot burn ourselves out for others. Damn, I've been a professional at burning myself out for others over the years, and I can't do that anymore. I can't get in my head about, oh my gosh, what is this person going to think if I tell them no, I can't speak at their event because I have this, this, and this, or maybe I loosely committed to something, no contract, no down payment, whatever. I'm like, actually, I'm sorry, I have to back out. This isn't a good fit for me right now. I know it's going to stress me out. It's going to take me away from my family time. It's going to take me away from my other 3 foundational priorities. So I'm sorry, I can't do this. So I'm not going to burn out for others. And your circle will get smaller, but the right people will understand. What is it? I think it's a Dr. Seuss quote, but that I just recently saw. It maybe as someone else, but for those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. It's about disappointing the right people, and the right people will respect you. And then it's about determining, once this season you have your priorities dialed in, you are selfish, you respect yourself, you're ready to disappoint the right people. Now you realize, hey, here's my priorities. Here's my priorities. If it's not a hell yes, it's an instant hell no. And then the game of saying no to people becomes so empowering, and you just continue to build yourself up because you continue to like flex that respect for yourself muscle. Cool. Yeah, I really wanted to go deep on the selfish side. I'm working on my thumbnail games. My thumbnails aren't the best. I am slowly tweaking and working on it each week. It makes me really uncomfortable showing my face on my thumbnails. I'm spending more time on my thumbnails than the outlines on stuff right now. So I will give me some grace on shitty thumbnails in the meantime, and I'll figure it out. I'll find my groove, but I'm embracing the suck during this season. Next up, So I talked about being selfish. That's really important. You got to be selfish. But next, I'll fly through these next two of being hungry, being patient. So be hungry. People talk about this all the time, but what is your why? Why do you show up each day? When we have something we're not excited to show up for, man, that hurts me. That means you are lacking purpose. You're lacking fulfillment in your life with your creative pursuits. That hurts. I think that's why I'm a coach. Is my mission to help you tap into your why. My mission is to help you thrive doing the work you love, creating an impact for people you care about. Like, to me, that's my mission. That's the power of a side hustle. It also grants you freedom in terms of financial freedom, uh, time freedom, freedom from the traditional system. Like, that's my why. That's one of my whys. So for you, what drives you to get out of bed each day? To bet big on yourself despite the path being unknown. It's a little bit scary. It's a little bit exciting. I got some people, students of mine, whether they're in coaching programs or students from afar, that I'm just so proud of for pushing themselves in a lane that scares them, that's uncomfortable, that's unknown, that's new, uncharted territory. That's where the gold is. If it scares you and excites you, that's where the gold is. But I want to encourage you to really tap into what drives you to get out of bed each day. Is it an internal drive? For me, I have internal drives and I have external drives. Or is it something external? Like for me, internal is I want to change my family tree. I want to provide a life for my kiddos that my parents were never in a position to provide based on their circumstances, their parents' circumstances, the lifestyle of society back then. That drives me. My drive is to change, create generational wealth for my kids and their kids, and to stay ahead of the game. My internal drive is to really prove to my past self that I could do this. I can be successful chasing my dream, that I'm not a failure, that I'm not a loser. These limiting beliefs that I believed till I was like in my mid-20s, and sometimes I still battle them. And external beliefs, I'll be honest, some of these are ego driven and it is what it is. To show all those people for 3 years, all those people that wouldn't hire me, wouldn't give me a chance when I was just like stumbling and failing and depressed out of college and couldn't get a job within my degree, all those people that told me no, all those people who never gave me a call back, I want them all to feel foolish if they ever see my name and connect the dots and be like, damn, we didn't hire that guy? Like, what were we smoking at the time that we didn't see his potential? I know that sounds dumb. I mean, I'm also fueled by all the bullies in my life that I've had. All those people who beat me up, called me a loser, called me a lot of mean names, pushed me, pushed me down as well. Kicked me to the ground, kicked me to the curb, treated me like dog shit. I show up to prove all of them like, wow, I bet you feel dumb now. I bet you wish you were connected with me so you can ride the vibe of where I'm going, because I want to bring people along for the ride. I want anybody who comes in contact and engages with me to just feel so fulfilled and empowered that they can make moves on their own terms as well. I want the way I show it to be contagious and infectious. I want you to have a conversation with me and be ready to take on the world. Those are my drives. And in my opinion, like your internal, your external drive, your why you show up for bed each day, it's got to be bigger than the pursuit of money. It's got to be bigger than that. What's the point? Otherwise, it's just like, that's why you go to a day job, is to continually climb the ladder and make more money. It's got to be bigger than that, in my opinion. If that's what gets you out of bed each day, whatever. If that's an external drive, cool. What's up, Junebug? Hey, baby girl. But to me, what sets me on fire, what gets me out of days, what gets me showing up when it's inconvenient, what fires me up is when I'm able to tap into where I can make the greatest impact doing what I love. So what do you love? How can you uniquely provide value with it? Is it your storytelling? Is it you just being so transparent and vulnerable in what you do? Are you educating people about your process? Are you inspiring them with your story? Are you entertaining them somehow with whatever you do as well? Are you doing all three? Whatever it is, like, how can you make an impact? How can you educate? How can you inspire? How can you entertain? Whatever it is, just creating impact doesn't mean solely like being like me and inspiring people, gung ho, rah, rah. It can be whatever it is that you find that it is. Just by you showing up and pouring yourself into your work is going to be impactful in itself, and consistently showing up and pouring into other people's, being selfish with your gift to find it, and then selflessly pouring it into other people. But you got to be selfish to find it first. And I believe that all the money in the world, all the opportunities that we're so wrapped up in, all the external results we want, that shit is all the byproduct of creating impact, dishing out value, and providing solutions. So if you're struggling like, damn, I'm not making enough money. Well, I'm like, how much impact are you making on people? How much value are you dishing out to people? How much solutions are you providing people? You're a creative problem solver. Figure that shit out. Hire a coach. What's up? But yeah, if you're stressed about money, how can you create more value for people? What are you uniquely capable of providing a service as? What are people asking you questions all the time about, but you're so like focused in this lane of art all the time when someone else may be asking your process or your tools or your systems, whatever it is, like I thought I wanted to be hired to be a hand lettering artist, but everybody's asking me how to build something similar on the side of their day job. And I wasn't listening at first. And then I started listening and pay attention. And then lettering just became a tool, and art became a tool to amplify my voice to get more people to connect with that I can serve through the lens of a side hustle. And now I'm getting back to my creative roots too, because I need that for my fulfillment. But also under the section, wow, this one's going way longer than I expected. But also under the section of being hungry, I want to compel you to set targets that scare you and excite you, right? You should roll out of bed each day of like, damn, okay, here's that target I'm moving towards. He can be set targets. Here can be flexible moving targets because things change as you evolve. So set targets that scare and excite you. You should always be uncomfortable. And when you feel like you're not feeling challenged, you're figuring out things are getting easy and you're normalizing, you're going to hit a plateau soon. So notice when things feel easy, it's time to shake it up. Shake it up. The last thing. So we talked about being selfish. We talked about being hungry. Let's talk about being patient. We'll land the plane and we will open it up for Q&A. So being patient. To me, a dangerous combination is when you mix selfishness with delayed gratification. So what I mean by this, when you mix selfishness with delayed gratification, I'm meaning this in like the terms of creating as much as you possibly can consistently. I call this planting seeds. Plant as many seeds as you can within your finite existence on this planet. Plant, create, share. Your 85% is going to be better than someone else's 0%. Stop being so precious. Stop pursuing perfection to be perceived as you got it all figured out. Publish that shit. Hit send. All right. Get it out there. Iterate, revise, improve. Get it out there. What you think is your 85%, someone else is going to be like, wow, like that 100%, that's 110%. I could never do that. You're too close to it. So get it out there, ship it. I'm working on me too. Like these thumbnails, putting so much time into, but I realize every week I'll get better. Every week with my YouTube lives, I will get better. Every time I put out an NFT art piece and figure out the promotional game behind it, I will get better. And it reflects in the numbers. Numbers don't lie when you show up and pursue getting better, not pursuing perfection. Pursue improvement. I don't think I've said that before. I like that. Maybe I heard that somewhere. I don't think so. But yeah, so being selfish with delayed gratification and creating as much as you can, planting seeds, as well as be selfish and be patient in terms of showing up for your present and future self and your happiness and your growth. Like you have to show up for yourself each day. You have to be selfish when you show up for yourself, and you have to be patient for those seeds to plant for you to truly reap the rewards of your harvest, in terms of happiness, growth, opportunities, money, whatever it is. Also be selfish and soak up delayed gratification in terms of showing up for those who need what you have to share. So that's kind of like the selfish and the selfless angle combined. Show up and be selfish with your work and your talents so you can selflessly share them with the world. And give it time. One person at a time is going to jump on board of what you're doing. And then it's a compounding snowball effect. Some people, it works out way quicker. Their timeline happens quicker when they try something new. Other people, it takes a little bit longer. Hence why I talk about priorities and going deep in a lane to give yourself the most squeeze or the most juice from your squeeze. So focus, focus, focus. I'm still doing too much, but everything aligns right now and I'm happy about it all. But again, it takes time for all these seeds you plant to grow. I mentioned it in a podcast episode a while back, Bulbasaur. I did like a little mini spread out series featuring the OG Pokemon starters, but this one has a Bulbasaur drawing, and it's all about planting seeds. And it said, you don't reap the rewards the day you plant the seeds. Give it time. Delayed gratification is the most powerful asset so many of us aren't practicing ourselves. Delayed gratification, okay? Don't be entitled to think that your seed should blow up, right? You're trying something new in the realms of NFT artwork. Don't expect your work to blow up right away when you haven't paid your dues to earn your keep. We pay our dues. Constantly see yourself as a work in progress. So yes, don't pursue perfection, pursue progress. I like that better. I like that better. But in conclusion, I hope me just laying this out there and like how I have my priorities, I'm constantly dialing it in. I'm constantly have to put myself in check, but I know what my 3 main focuses are, and I know where my dream is. I know to be selfish. I know it's a non-negotiable, and I hope I'm me speaking towards these and kind of breaking it down a little bit each week to show you how powerful it is to be selfish. Being selfish is the key to finding focus, clarity, and growth with your creative pursuits. Be selfish. And then I'm encouraging you to sprinkle in that insatiable hunger, like never get satisfied, never get full when it comes to showing up and pursuing what you love each day, mixing that with delayed gratification. And you are grooming yourself to be a lurking juggernaut with whatever you're doing, your creative pursuits, your fitness pursuits, coaching pursuits, whatever it is. So as you find your groove, though, I'm telling you to be selfish, be hungry, be patient. But as you find your groove over time through being selfish, it's your job, in my opinion, to be selfless now in terms of creating as much impact as you can and leveraging your gift. Create as much impact as you can, leverage your gift, and unleash it on the world. To me, that's your job. If you want to be a student of mine, it's more than making money. It's about finding your gift so you can give it away and just like make this world a better place through your creative talent and figuring out where your creative talent is needed in the world. But first, you got to connect with it yourself. So just remember, to do all of this, you can't pour from an empty cup. Hence why I say to be selfish. So again, if you like the video, it means a lot to me just by taking the time to hit that little like button and subscribe for more weekly fuel for your mind and creative grind. Share with your friends, family, and following, and let's dive into some questions. If you have questions. So let me kind of dive into the chat. Thank you for the condolences with my grandma. Yeah, it was really, really hard seeing that this morning. I can't say I was the closest with my grandma over time. She was really closest with my older brother and helped him out with a lot of things, some troubling times, but I was close enough, and it hurt the most seeing my mom hurt today. That's what hurt me the most and got me feeling emotional, was just seeing my mom. That hurt. So thank you for the condolences. But we still show up. We still show up. There's a lot of things outside of our control, but what's in our control is still showing up. Today I'm showing up for my grandma and I'm showing up for my mom. I'm showing up for my mom, who's so selfless, and I'm being selfish for her so I can be selfless and pour my gift into other people who may need to hear what I have to say today. So Camille says, this one really resonates with me today. Mark Pilardi says, I'm a very selfless person, so this really resonates. Mark, yeah, you come to mind as well, man. You're constantly lifting and pushing other people, which is part of your gift, but also like, be selfish with your gift. Go all in on your art pursuits within the lane that you love, guiding you towards the trajectory of where you want to be with your work, and bring people along the way and support and build people up. Why I like the creative community in the NFT space so much, specifically under Solana, I said it the other day, like my purpose is to like build other people up in the space while building myself up. So they in turn can build something for themselves as well. I'm building for myself while building other people up. So in terms, they can do the same and pass it along. So like, that's really, really important to me. That's where a lot of my focus is going, outside of my typical coaching traditional setting. But if nobody has any questions, we can wrap this one up early. I got plenty of work to do to catch up on today. I'm so behind on so many things. But in the meantime, I'll give it like another minute because I know there's a delay. But otherwise, next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Time, I will be doing next week's YouTube Live. I'm traveling Wednesday through Sunday, I'll be at Creative South. And so Monday and Tuesday are going to be packed full of visitations and the funeral. But my funeral for my grandma will be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Time. And so then I will come home Tuesday afterwards at 1 p.m., bump it back an hour from normal time, what I'm doing now every Wednesday. And then I'll be back on Wednesday the following week. So next week's Tuesday, 1 p.m. live. And then Monday, sometime I'll do an Instagram live, just strict Q&A. Okay. So no questions. That's fine. Yeah, if you can give it a like, that means a lot. And I will connect with you next week. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Love you, and have a great day. And go tell your family you love them. All right. Peace.